Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Max with BuzzTox here, and I am back with a brief Game of Thrones Season 8 news video. Before we get started, I'd like to issue a quick spoiler warning for everybody out there. I will 100% be spoiling aspects of Game of Thrones Season 8 through set pictures, as well as set leaks. So if you do not want to be spoiled on the upcoming Game of Thrones season, please leave right now. Now for those of you who stuck around, the news is broken up into two significant set pieces of Game of Thrones Season 8. And that is the siege at King's Landing, as well as the battle at Winterfell. Now, starting with the siege of King's Landing, we have some basic information. We know that in Episode 5, King's Landing is going to be laid under attack or under siege, and it is unknown as to who it is. It could be Daenerys with her Unsullied and Dothraki force, or it could be the Night King with his undead army. But the one thing we do know is that they've been building this giant set. That's actually the biggest set that's ever been created in Game of Thrones history. And this set is being built as almost a complete street. And they've been doing fire tests. That makes it seem like this set is going to be burned down. So it seems like whatever's going to be filmed on this set is going to be very significant to King's Landing. And recently there were a couple details added onto this set that gives us a little bit more information as to what is going to happen at King's Landing. First of all, they installed two towers that frame out the gate to the entrance of King's Landing. And there are a couple things that are interesting about this. First of all, it is a physical tower, which means that we will most likely see cast and crew interact with it. I can guarantee that if they weren't going to properly utilize the towers physically, then they would have just digitally recreated it. So because of this, we will see people be standing and using these towers. Secondly, it provides some context as to where this is taking place at King's Landing. But the problem is that it could take place in multiple locations. This set piece could be the entrance to King's Landing, and we could find an attack taking place in Flea Bottom, for example. But what I really want to point out is this image. And what's so significant about this image is that it is King's Landing, but I want you to pay attention to the towers. In King's Landing, there are multiple towers and multiple walls that divide the poor from the rich. And there are more and more borders until you get up to the Red Keep. So the point is that these towers and this set could take place anywhere. It could be the entrance to the Red Keep, or it could be the entrance to Flea Bottom. But one key point is that this gate has been breached. You can see in the corner of this image that they have actually designed the gate to be broken open, which means that whoever is attacking King's Landing made it through the gates. So this pretty much guarantees that we are going to be seeing foreign armies walk in the streets of King's Landing, as well as we're going to see some type of dragonfire or wildfire burn a portion of King's Landing to the ground. And another set that we know is going to be burned down to the ground is Winterfell. We have seen soldiers standing in front of Winterfell, almost laying it to siege. And they seem to look like a Lannister force, or they could potentially be the Golden Company. But whatever it is, we know that Winterfell burns down as the result. And we got confirmation of the involvement of one actress that really shines a light on this scene. Maisie Williams, who plays Arya Stark, confirmed that she's going to be in about 4 to 12 weeks of night shoots, and that it's going to be an action scene. And you have to do some inferring, but it lines up with the filming and production of the Winterfell scene. So it is looking like Arya Stark will be a part of the Winterfell attack, whether they are attacked by the Night King and his army, or Cersei's men. We also got to look at another scene of all of these dead corpses laying outside of Winterfell. And I'm assuming that this is going to be filmed after the events of Winterfell burning down. And I personally don't see the value in filming a scene of all of these people dead unless the Night King was going to show up and resurrect them. So now with all of these new scenes being filmed, and the involvement of Arya Stark and other characters, it makes me question what I thought this scene was. I thought the Night King would attack Winterfell, and I thought everyone in Winterfell would have to retreat south. But based on all the information we're getting, it seems like that is just not the case. I feel like if the Night King came to Winterfell and Arya was there, she would die, because it's very hard to survive and outrun the White Walkers. But the fact that we're seeing Cersei's soldiers, and the fact that we're seeing involvement of very key characters in the plot, it seems to me that Cersei will in fact attack Winterfell. And that leaves further context to the shot of all the dead corpses laying outside Winterfell. Because after Cersei attacks Winterfell and she takes people hostage and she brings them back to King's Landing, all that's going to be left in Winterfell is the dead. And that's when I believe we'll see the Night King arrive and resurrect all of these dead corpses. Now, I personally don't want this to happen because I feel like the Night King attacking everyone at Winterfell would be so much more powerful. And I don't want this finale to be a story about Cersei. I want it to be about the battle of the living against the dead. But it seems like all the information is going against that assumption. But that is it, everybody. Please let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I have a new prediction video coming out this week, so I'm excited for you guys to check that out. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.